Thank you very much, Chairperson. You know, 100 years ago, Vladimir Ulyanov Lenin published one of the most important publications about anything in the world, and he wrote about a state and revolution. And part of his observations there, he said that a democratic republic is the best possible political shell of capitalism. And therefore, once capital has gained possession of this very best shell, it establishes its power so securely, so firmly, that no change of persons, institutions, or parties in the bourgeois democratic republic can shake it. So that is what Lenin has said. And I think that we should make an observation, a correct one, that the change of political office bearers in national treasury has not changed its neoliberal and bourgeois orientation and character. And that is evidenced by everything else that was said here, the reaffirmation and recommitment to the new liberal national development plan. And the only difference that maybe exists is that those that have been recently appointed have got a mandate to continue the kleptocratic movement, which has been correctly characterized by the South African Council of Churches as a mafia state that is stealing from our state-owned companies in Eskom and Transnet and Dinel. That is the only mandate that could have possibly changed in terms of what should be happening. Now, whilst the factions of the ruling party are busy competing in terms of who defines radical economic transformation, let us just give you some of the key highlights of the state of the financial sector in South Africa. I know that there's deliberations that are going to go into a conclusion. But in South Africa, the 6 largest banks constitute more than 90% of the total market share, with assets of more than 4.8 trillion rands. And outside of the institutional investors, which is the PIC and many others, black people's ownership of those banks admittedly is less than 5%. They said it when they came to make the presentations in the bank. So the Association for Savings and Investment South Africa, called ASISA, says that the assets under management in South Africa is nearly 9 trillion rands, 8.9 trillion rands. And black-owned asset managers control or manage about 400 billion of that, which is like 5% of general assets under management. Meaning that the remaining 95% of assets under management are managed by white-owned companies, the Old Mutuals, the Sanlams, Coronations, and so on and so forth. Of course, that excludes the state-owned asset management company called the PIC. All the black-owned insurance companies came to illustrate that overall, combined, all of them are in less than 1% control of the short-term insurance. So in the industry, like, black people are only at 1%. And attempts to change the face of the financial sector, there's been a lot of stories said about the auditing sector. That is 4 big multinational companies that are in control as well in that space. And attempts to change the face of the economy in South Africa have dismally failed because the legislation that exists doesn't have any teeth, doesn't have any enforceability in terms of what should happen. That is why we stand as the EFF to say that we need to legislate transformative commitments that can be enforced into law, as law in all the sectors of the economy. And part of the things that must be legislated should be that a minimum of 50% of all the financial institutions, inclusive of banks, insurance companies, asset managers, and the assets under management, should be in black people's hand. A combination of state, worker control, and individuals. I think that is one of the things that we must look into. In the immediate, Minister Van Rooyen, or they say the Minister Gigaba, there is an insurance bill which is before the portfolio, the Standing Committee on Finance. If you are really committed to this radical economic transformation, let us give life to the insurance bill, and in Section 22 and all the sections that speak about the licensing conditions, we put transformative commitments that have to be brought into the financial sector, and then we'll deal with the control issues. There must begin to be legislation as well in terms of the minimum number of females that can participate or that should participate in all these financial institutions management, because currently it's a boys' choir that is running a capitalist white economy that must be dismantled by a decisive political action. Unless you do not do that and define that agenda clearly, the EFF will not agree with the budget of the National Treasury. Thank you very much.
Thank you.